I've been reading Omarion's Unbothered, and I honestly, like, it's a really good book. I'm actually really, like, proud of his body of work with this book, and him detailing, like, his growth and what he's gone through. And it got me thinking. I have these conversations with clients a lot about different, like, types of relationships and where felt like we've been done wrong. I always say perceived wrongs, right? So where we feel like we've been done wrong, or some of us, like myself, I tend to worry about the outcome of things before they've even happened. And by the time something is already over, or by the time I've gotten through whatever that hurdle was that I was worried about, I look up and I realize I had nothing to worry about in the first place. And for myself, what I have, I'm not going to say that I mastered it, but what I've been working really, really, really hard at for, I want to say maybe about the past like 2 to 3 years, is understanding and realizing that people are human. And I know it sounds cliche as hell, but it's true. Like, we expect the people around us to be perfect. We expect them to never hurt us and to never disappoint us. My favorite saying is, well, I wouldn't do somebody like that, so I don't see how they could do me like that. Well, they're not me. And even with myself, as much as I am very intentional about the things that I do and how I treat people and how I make the people around me feel, that doesn't mean that I'm not in some way, shape, or form hurting these people. Sometimes, and I've spoken about this in another video, but sometimes you may just trigger somebody. You may trigger someone's PTSD. You're not meaning to do so. But one of my clients, we were talking about this on the topic of, like, infidelity. And for me, I always say, like, while it's not okay, it's not anything that anybody feels good about, right? Or like feels like when you're on the receiving end of that, I think that the best thing that you can do for yourself and your mental is to understand that this person is human. And the majority of the time, I can't speak on everybody's, like, situation, but there are situations where that person literally is not even considering you in their bad habit. They are in their bad decision, excuse me. They are at that time focused on their own selfishness. They're being selfish, right? They're worried about themselves. I think that the best thing that we can do for ourselves in any situation, whether it's a friendship, relationship, any kind of ship, is just to remember to trust yourself, right? So you have to give people the room to make mistakes. You have to give people the room to make bad decisions. That does not mean, though, that you have to stay there. And I think a lot of the time where we do ourselves a disservice and we hurt ourselves is we look at these situations and go, how could they do me like this? But in all honesty, they're not doing us like anything. They made a decision, and at that time, they weren't even considering how that decision was going to affect us. They were focused on something at that moment, what was best for them, or so they felt like, right? So I did another video on forgiveness. I haven't posted it yet, but pretty much I spoke on how having compassion and understanding for the people that hurt us helped me, made it easier for me to forgive people. Once you understand the kind of person that you're dealing with, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make it okay, but it does help you in your healing process. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you're in a relationship and you've had an issue with infidelity in the past. Of course, if you're on the receiving end, trust is going to be very hard to come by around that time, right? But we don't realize that in that constant ruminating and going over it, you relive it. So even if it only happened one time, you are constantly re-putting yourself back through that thing that hurt you. And if we are choosing to continue the relationship or the friendship or any ship, we have to, when we say that we've moved past it, we actually have to move past it. We can't keep, we can't keep putting that person on trial for the thing that they've done. And then for myself, I always put the shoe on the other foot and go, if I was the person that messed up, would I constantly want to keep hearing about my mess up when I know that I genuinely did apologize for my wrongdoing? And then when you go back to the place of trusting yourself, when you trust yourself, you can say, you know what? I enjoy having this person around. outside of this mess up here, you know, we haven't had any issues, or this person is genuinely a good person, they just did something dumb, you know, then you could say, you know what, I am going to trust myself that if I am put in said situation again, I know how to navigate that situation. So if that for you is, you only get to do that to me once, you have to trust yourself that if that situation arises again, that you have the strength to get up and go. You don't have to stay around it. You know, that saying that we teach people how to treat us is true. So, you know, if you keep on allowing people to have you jacked up, then yeah, they're gonna have you messed up. But I don't believe that everybody is out to get us and everybody is out to mistreat us. I don't know who that was for. It was on my mind, so I spoke it. Have a good day, y'all.